Welcome everyone, today we have a new guide for Honkai Star Rail. In this video, we're looking at something very interesting and very important about the game, and this is rerolling. So what you're going to see behind me is going to be notes with different options to reroll. And you can see we can go on the beginner's banner, we can also go on to the standard banner, we can also go on to the premium banner at the final piece of the puzzle. So I have provided a lot of different rates, a lot of different calculations for you guys to look into which of the banner is best for rerolling and how do you get multiple 5 stars using different methods. I'll provide you guys with a detailed summary of which of the method is good for you and the reasons behind it. So you get to see all the notes, all the comparison to pick your options of rerolling. Of course, I'll also warn you guys about the dangers of rerolling, which is that you can get burned out from rerolling and it may not be for everyone. Now, before we get into our notes, there are 2 official information available for Honkai Star Rail. So the first one is, we have reached over 10 million subscribers for the game, the pre-registration. So that means we'll get at least 20 rerolls or the free rolls on the standard banner. So we have the mail over here on the closed beta. This will be the same for the launch of the game. So we'll get 20 of the standard summoning tickets. Now the second thing is, once you have completed reroll, or if you don't plan to complete reroll, make sure you participate in this event. This is a light coin event. Now for this event, you just have to participate. It's very straightforward, and what I recommend is, after getting your 5-star character account you wanted, then come back to this event. Don't use your emails too early, because you might have a lot of emails and a lot of things to prepare. We'll talk about this as well. So this event will last after the launch of the game, so you don't have to rush about this event. I have the events available for you guys to get additional weapons and also more freebies. Now coming over to our notes. So over here we can see that we get 20 standard summons from the registration over 5 million people. And also what we can expect is anywhere from 0 to 5 of the premium summons by collecting the premium currency with Stellar Jade. And this is what we get along the way as you play the game. And likely we can get at least 1 or 2 summons, but I'm not sure. So this can be anywhere from 0 to 5 summons. Each of the summons will cost us 160 Jade, so keep that in mind. Now, if you guys are planning to reroll, the first thing you want to look at is how long does it take before you can start rerolling. And for Genshin Impact and also Honkai Star Rail, it is very long. They are unskippable cutscenes, and this will take anywhere from 25 to 35 minutes. So on average, you look at least 30 minutes for the reroll of one account. And we'll of course talk about how to reroll more efficiently in the next video, but this video I want to talk about the banners. So the banner options for the currencies you have will be the beginner's banner, the standard banner, and also the limited character banner. I do not recommend rolling on the weapons banner at the start of the game, because you need characters, right? You're going to play with characters. If you want to play 4-star characters with 5-star weapons, it's not ideal. So most of the time in this video, we'll be picking between rerolling on the beginner's banner versus the standard banner. We have 2 options over here. So coming over to the first option, and this is by far the fastest option, and this can still be good in the game. So let's have a look at this. So the beginner's banner is available to all the players, and there is a 20% discount to all the summons. What that means is your 20 rolls of the ticket will now become 24 rolls. So you can roll 20 times on the beginner's banner and then 4 extra times on the standard banner if you go with this method. The second good thing about taking the first option is you have a 0.6% chance of getting a 5-star character with any of the rolls. This compared to 0.3% on the standard banner of getting a character, because half of the chance you're getting a weapon, and we don't really want to reroll into a weapon. And because we're guaranteed to have any of the 7 characters that are standard 5 stars, so if you use this method, you can, guarantee yourself a great starter character like Bonnia, which is a very good support for the long term of the game. So this is the good method, which is very fast. Now, of course, the downside of rolling on the beginner's banner is that we already have a guarantee that is inbuilt in the beginner's banner. If you started rerolling on the first 20 rolls and you use this guarantee of 5-star, then you're not getting your guarantee of 5-star anymore, right? So you're basically using a resource that is already inbuilt in the game. You're just getting a little luckier, because it might take a player maybe 50 summons to get all the 5 stars, and here we took about 20 summons, so we're just a little bit luckier. We're not that lucky. So usually when you reroll, you're going to be super lucky, right? And because of this, this actually limits us to having only 1 5 stars in the free-to-play or the starter account until we get a soft pity or hard pity around 70 or 90 summons, and this can take a while. So the good side is you can kind of select any of the 7 5-stars you want and then reroll for it very quickly, and you get the best rates. The downside for that is, of course, you're limited to only 1 5-star, and this is the downside of rerolling on the beginner's banner. Of course, we compare the second method as well. So just for now, keep in mind guys, if you want to go fast and go for any of the great characters at the start of the game, this is the method. Now technically, you can say that, hey, why would I need to reroll? I have a guaranteed 5-star on this banner. Why would I even need to reroll? Well, keep in mind guys, if you're rerolling on this banner, you're guaranteed to get your 5-star, any of the 5-star you wanted, if you take enough time, on 20 summons. But if you actually just play the game, most of the case for most of the players, you have to wait for 50 summons on this banner. Because this banner, although it guarantees a 5-star, it does not guarantee on the first 20 or something summons. So you are saving yourself 30 rolls here. So keep that in mind. If you're rerolling on the beginner's banner, you're saving yourself 30 rolls, because most other players will take 50 rolls on this banner to get the 5-star. Now that we had a look at the first option, let's have a look at the second option. And the second option is about rerolling with a standard banner. Now, if you have seen our previous video, which we talk about all the rates in details, you can see the notes on the previous video as well. Over here, you can see all the rates, notes, and everything. So make sure you check the previous video to see more information. So coming back to the standard banner, which is over here, we know that there is a 0.3% chance of getting a character on this banner, because half of the chance goes into weapons. So the weapons are less valuable in comparison to the 5-star characters in all regards. Weapons are having more rates on the weapons banner, and weapons are not ideal at the start of the game. You want 5-star characters. Now compared to the first option, because it is not discounted, your 20 rolls will just be 20 rolls. You will not become 24 rolls. So you have, again, less chance of getting a 5-star character. So it is very likely the case, guys, you will take us double the time to reroll on the standard banner. And, compared to the first method, there's a lot of things you have to think about. It's when do you stop? Do you stop at any 5-star? Because you might get a weapon. Do you stop at a 5-star character? Any 5-star character? Because you might get someone a Gepet, and you might not want Gepet. And you might stop at ideal 5-star. You might get Borneo, and then you'll be very lucky on the rerolls. So when do you stop with this rerolling? We'll talk about this as well. And finally, because you're summoning on the standard banner, you can also keep playing the game. You can also do this option for the first method as well. You can keep playing the game for another 30 to 90 minutes after the unlocking of the rerolling of the summons. You can keep playing the game for another 10 to 20 more summons. So this was calculated by the beta players. It can take anywhere from 2 hours to get 40 or 50 summons. So I don't think this is good, because you don't want to keep playing the game. One thing is, it is much slower to get additional 10 to 20 summons, because for 30 minutes on the first starting of the account, we just get 20 summons, and the next 30 minutes might get you only 10 summons. The second thing is, you're exhausting future currencies and also future rolls that can be used to accumulate your next 5-star after rerolling for your first 5-star. So because I'm quite greedy, I don't like to keep playing for another half hour or like 2 hours just for 20 more rolls on one account. I will only do this on the second part, which I'll show you guys. So now that we talk about all the bad things about, rolling on the standard banner, why would you ever consider rolling on the standard banner? Well, the biggest, reasons is that we're guaranteed to have 2 5-star characters as a free-to-play starter account. And this is massive, because you can get a 5-star on the standard banner, and then you come back to the beginner's banner. After, say 10 to 50 rolls, you can get your second guaranteed 5-star. And this is the biggest highlight. This is how you get 2 5-stars on one free-to-play account. If you're lucky, you can even get 3 5-stars. So this is the bonus. And this is one of the reasons we can endure all the bad rates and all the slowness and all the, the limitations, because we can get multiple 5-stars on a free-to-play account. And this is massive, because the second 5-star can be obtained on the discounted beginner's banner. Now, because this method, the second method, will take a long time, it is recommended, and I do plan to use this method, that if I get a 5-star on the standard banner, any of the accounts I have, I will be keeping that account and I'll play this account until I get my second guaranteed 5-star on the beginner's banner. So let's say if I get someone like Himiko, and a lot of people don't like Himiko because they say she's a weaker 5 DPS, right? I think she's okay. If I get Himiko, and then I go for my guarantee on the beginner's banner, and then I get Borneo, I'll be really happy. Of course, ideally, a lot of people want Balu and also Borneo for the perfect support team. or I can go with Yanqing and also Brownia. So this way, if you do get any 5-star, even a weapon, you might want to keep this account, because then you can play until you get your next 5-star. And we all know games like, free-to-play games, they have a progression wall each day. You're limited by energy, you're limited by how much progression you can go, because you don't have enough energy, right? So this way, if you do play multiple accounts on the starting of the game, it might take a little while, but you'll have the best free-to-play starter account with at least 2 5-stars. And this is what I plan to do when the game starts. Now, another benefit of rerolling on the standard banner is that we're already 20 summons into the 300 summon pity selection for the selection of any 5-star characters that is in the banner. So you can see the 7 characters over here. There is a special feature in the standard banner that allows you to select any of the characters you wanted from those 7 characters. And this is going to be a big plus. So you're already you're already 20 out of 300 into the investment. And although this is a slow investment, this is really good. So, this is also a bonus, right? But although there's a lot of bonus, I just want to warn you guys. When I played Genshin Impact, it took me 2 days. 2 days from morning to night to roll for my double Jing and also Venti 5-star starter. And I was super lucky. So it took me over 20 rolls, and each roll took like 30 or 40 minutes. I was literally dying. So it was so crushing, it was very tormenting, and to the end, I was about to give up. So if you guys remember when I played Genshin Impact, for the first 2 days, I did not play the game. I just rolled. And it can be very scary. So I do want to warn you guys, if you take the greedy method, be prepared for something that is very soul crushing and very scary with the rerolling. Now coming over to additional part of the video. Now that you have understand the first 2 major methods of rerolling with the beginner's banner and also the standard banner, let's have a look at the premium currencies you might be getting. So any currency you get exceeding 160 of the Jade, you should be rolling on the limited banner for the characters for Silly. So the butterfly on the sword tip, you should be going for her. Because you might be thinking, hey, what about, my pity counter, my guarantees? You don't think about them when you're rerolling. The best outcome you can get in the game when you're rerolling is to get a limited banner character. And this is how I got Venti. I actually got Venti from like 5 summons after getting my Jing, and that was incredible. Because you'll get a lot of, free-to-play currency and also premium currency in the game, any of the premium Jade you got, guys, should go to Silly while rerolling. You can save your currency for the next banner once you have planned to keep this account for the future. But if you're rerolling, you're not saving currencies. You want to roll as many times as you can on the limited character banner. And this is by far the best way to get additional characters. Now before we finish, just a bit of calculation so you guys understand what you're looking at. The hidden probability of the chances of getting a 5-star, by my estimation, this is very close, is 11.7% chance of getting 1 5-star from 20 summons. So what does this mean? You're expected about 9 to 10 times on average to get 1 5-star with rerolling. And we know each of the rounds for reroll take 30 minutes. So on average, you're expecting to spend about 5 hours to reroll into 1 5-star. So in my past 2 days time when I was playing Genshin Impact, I got 3 accounts to 5-star, and only 1 account with Jing was able to get Venti. So keep in mind, maybe in 1 day's time you can only get an account with 1 or 2 5-stars. With multiple different accounts, of course, not 1 account with 2 5-stars, right? So this is the final warning for this video, is that although we talk about rerolling, and I'm a big fan of this because I kind of enjoy the grind, I'm a Asian, I like to farm. Now, keep in mind, rerolling is not for everyone, and it can really kill the joy of the game for gacha games. And it can also amplify the joy, because when I was playing Genshin Impact, I'm free to play with Jing and Venti, and if you're free to play with 2 5-stars that's really good in the game, you feel really good, you feel on top of the moon. But if you take like 2 days and get nothing, you can kill your joy, you feel like you're behind it with everyone, everyone's like 2 days ahead of you. So do keep in mind, this is a risk trade-off. And this really depends on how lucky you are and also how determined you are. Now, just a little teaser. On my next video, I'm looking into faster method of rerolling and also how to reroll multiple times at once, maybe on different devices because you can do multiple platforms. So what that means is I'm trying to look into ways to shorten our time, which will take anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes. I'm looking for ways to shorten the time and also do multiple instances on different devices and also maybe emulators. I'll make a video for you guys on that one, and this should help after you decide how you're going to reroll and if you're going to reroll. Now, before you go, and if you guys didn't know, we have a new YouTube channel. And if you guys haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe and check out the behind the scenes and also fun clips and also more stories about us. And then you get to know me a little more personally instead of just reading the news and also the games, right? So I want to share a little bit more with you guys. So make sure you check this channel out if you're interested about Matt and also Uni. She's really funny too, and she's really shy. So I want to give her a surprise and do a shout out for the new channel to get some subscribers. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys next time.